Sticker. Okay, we are now live on Monday night. Waiting for everybody to check in and say hello. And drink my water. There we go. What's up, y'all? Hey! Woo! Everybody joining in fast. What's up, Jason? I believe is that Emma? Emma Bowling? Liana? And then I saw Maddie and a little Fitbit Becca. Hey, JC. What's up, guys? Jason, nice for you to join us. New follow here to Jackalope Racing. Hope you join us and tune in more often than just tonight. I'll bet you're a huge fan of Reagan Potts. What's up, Emma? Nice pictures I just saw on Instagram. Hey, Sarah, good of you to join us. There's Cycle Suspension. Selfless plug if you need suspension tuning. Holler at Joe Cycle Suspension. We are on Facebook. We also have a website. I only married him because he's a great suspension tuner. You know, he gets great discounts at the shop too. Hi, baby. So, anyway, as people join in, I did not race this weekend. I did go ride TCCRA. Nathan, it's good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. I did go ride practice on Saturday because I wanted the seat time. I was actually thinking about racing. The track was 9 miles, and they got a significant amount of rain on Wednesday. We all did up here in the North Texas area. And Cheryl, y'all, we got to pressure Cheryl. Cheryl's going to come do a live by the end of the season. She promised. She doesn't know she promised, but she promised. There's Reagan. Good to see you, Reagan. Reagan, I'll tap you in a minute to get our interview going. Let's some more of your friends log in and everything. But anyway, road practice on Saturday. Claw. Everybody's signing in. Nice. The ground, it was nice dirt. I will start with you, Cheryl, because I'm older. Respect my authority as your elder. The ground was soft. It was good dirt, but you know, with all the rain, it was really soft, and it really got whooped out. A lot of braking bumps, acceleration bumps, things like that. A lot of single track in the woods, mostly a woods track. It opened up in a few places, crossing pastures to get from one woods section to another. Had a gnarly creek crossing. We had to cross it twice, almost in the same place, going out and then coming back in. I'm going to ask Reagan how that panned out. Cheryl, how was the creek crossing? You rode yesterday. Emma, did you ride? Anyway, I rode 2 laps of practice and decided, actually, I was almost going to race. Reagan about had me talked into it. What's up, Ariel? Good to see you. And I did not sleep well at all Saturday night. It was horrible. I woke up once every hour. Probably, at least, if not more. So I decided, not a good time to go race. My body was still recovering from the weekend before it torn since I raced on Saturday and Sunday. So I was actually sore again on Sunday. It was cut for y'all, but y'all did they cut the mileage, or did they find a way around it? Because I know Todd Downing, the promoter, was telling me about, using that part of the property and everything. So, but anyway, it was good to ride. One of the reasons I wanted to ride was so I could talk to Reagan, our subject this evening, subject of interview. We're going to talk with Reagan Potts here in a little bit, but, it's good to get seat time, and it's good to ride different terrain, different types of tracks, that kind of stuff. I might go to River Valley on a Friday night sometime soon and just get a little bit of motocross seat time in. Not because I like it. I mean, no bones about it, guys. I'm just not a very good motocrosser. But sometimes it's good to cross-train, right, Maddie? And do different types of riding to hone all of your skills. How do I watch? Mello. Hey, Shannon. To watch... Oh, geez. Somebody make a post. I can't come out. I just had a follower ask how they watch. basically, so can somebody make a post about how you watch Rerouted, Lost Creek Crossings, and the field? Oh, okay. Well, the field was fun. The creek crossing, not so much. That sucked my tire in the second time I went through. If anybody knows Shannon Mello, try to message her and tell her how to watch. I don't guess she's ever watched a live. Look for the little circle up at the top. But let's give a few more minutes. And I know Reagan's already logged in. Let me give you a little bit of background on Reagan. I didn't do a lot of research on her because I wanted her to be able to tell her story. Mello S, Mellos, Liana, that's who it is. Thank you. So I wanted to really get Reagan's story in her words. One of the things I can tell you about Reagan is she is the 2019, you wrote it blind. Oh, geez, Emma. So I don't know what was, well, you didn't miss what was taken out. The creek was bad. It was gnarly. The grates were sunk in the mud and it was sketchy. Anyway, Reagan Potts, stop distracting me. She won the 2019 Susie Boyer Award, which most of you know, that's my mom, Susie. And it's the overall points winner for TCCRA for the Minis Ladies race program of all the classes that raced during that program. And she was the overall point winner. And it came down to, there was a tie between Reagan and two other women. And it came down to, the tiebreaker was how many laps led. So it was a tight race, figuratively, literally, all the way to the end. But Reagan won out, and I'm really proud to have been able to meet her, and I'm looking forward to really getting to know her. Anyway, so she was an intermediate last year, ladies intermediate, and she is now an expert. So one of the things I want to talk to her about tonight is the transition from intermediate to expert. And if you've been racing a while, you know there's a learning curve and there's a jump. Hey, Peyton, nice for you to join us. So I want to talk to her about that. Reagan, how old are you? 19? 20? I'm not even sure. I know you graduated high school. That's about all I know. You went to Bishop Lynch, played softball, looked good for your senior formal presentation. So yeah, I stalked your Instagram a little bit of your Facebook. Anyway, so we're gonna, it's gonna be like it usually is. It's just turns into a general chat where you guys get to watch Reagan and me chat about racing and riding. And I will also say Reagan played softball, which before I met a dirt bike, softball was my first love. Then I met a dirt bike. So we got a few things in common. But it's 7:38, so guys, we might be having a little issue with video today. Reagan's 19. My DSL is out. Okay, my DSL is out, so we're going strictly on my data right now. So I will slow down and not talk so fast. And also, if it's pausing, it's just going to buffer. My DSL is out. That's the problem. It was out when I got up this morning. They can't get here till tomorrow. So we're just going to try to wing through this as best we can. I will save the live and I will post it on YouTube sometime tomorrow night once I get my DSL back. So if it buffers and you miss stuff, don't worry. I'm going to keep it and post it. So let's see what we can do here. And yeah, right now I live kind of north of Fort Worth, Becca. I do have a weak connection. But let's give it a shot. Reagan, if you know how to request to join, please request to join. Let's get this interview underway. Or not. I'll just sit here and you guys can stare at me and make fun of me, but I'm not going to pick my nose in public. Not going to do it. Nope, not doing it. So anyway, we're waiting for Reagan to push the little button. It's one of the buttons at the bottom, or you can leave in a second. She'll be coming on here in a second. So I get a drink of water. I hear a connection. Reagan, what's up?
Hey, what's
Hey.
up?
All right, everybody, say hi to Reagan Potts if you don't know her already. Hello, Miss Vonda Potts. Is that Mom?
It is. Hey, Mom. What's up?
Hi, Mom. All right, Reagan. I'm going to start with the basics. When did you start riding?
That's good. It was a family affair, So I got my first bike when I was 3 years old.
Nice.
My brothers rode. They raced. My dad, he races. My uncles raced. So
It's in the blood.
it was just a matter of time,
Okay.
So, I got my first bike when I was 3. I had a cousin who was similarly the same age as me, and we used to go out around the trailer, and we would literally just take circles. We would still have our training wheels on and everything, and we would just run circles all day long.
So what was your first bike? Was it PW or what?
It was a KTM 50. It was a low 50.
Oh, you started on a real first bike. Nice.
Definitely. You gotta start young.
So, what was your first crash, spill, tumble? Even before racing, because we all had one before we ever started racing. So what was yours?
Yeah, definitely. So after my brothers stopped riding, we all took a break for a minute. They all went to college, and we just kind of, let the bikes be. And I grew up. I ended up, like 12, 13 years old at the time. And one day I was like, "Hey, Dad, can we go outside and just start up the bikes and see what happens?" And he was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, sure, yeah, whatever." And we did, and my brother still had his YZ85.
Nice.
So we take it out to Brushy Creek, and he kind of like reminds me of everything. He's like, "This is the clutch, this is this," and all that fun stuff. And it was like a 5-minute lesson, maybe.
Of course. That's all we all had. 5 minutes. Turn the throttle, hit the brake, go.
Basically, he didn't teach me how to brake. He left that out.
So that's vital information.
So yeah, he didn't teach me how to brake, and I took off, didn't know how to brake, and I ended up in the creek of Brushy Creek, and the bike was sitting at like a 45-degree angle, and I was in the water. It was December. It was cold.
Creek monster. Dang. That's a good one. All I did was run into a wheelbarrow in the back of a Camaro, but yours is way better than mine, so.
You gotta start fast. You gotta fast, so it happens.
All right. So when did you start racing then?
I started racing probably like a year after that crash, actually.
Okay.
We sold the YZ85. We got a KLX 140. I got a 140. So that was a real fun bike. I still have it. I still use it to pit around. You saw me on it this weekend. Yeah.
They're great pit bikes.
Yeah, I that's what I learned how to ride again on. So that was a good bike. And then I think I raced it once or twice, maybe. I started racing back in 2013, 2014.
Your house is on fire.
I'm in my brother's apartment in Colorado, and that was the oddest thing. Okay, so anyways, yeah.
Well, hey, if you smell smoke, run. We can do this another day.
That's fun. I don't know. That was the weirdest thing. Just went off one time. Who knows? But anyways, yeah. So started racing back in 2013, ladies amateur class. And that was pretty fun. Eventually, I moved up to a KTM. I got an 85 KTM.
Okay.
And I raced that.
All right, so let's go with the progression. Because amateur, doesn't matter whether it's ladies amateur, 65 amateur, whatever. Amateur it's just kind of everybody's all over the place, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
Everyone's at different points, There's some people who have been riding for a little bit, and then there's, people who were like me who had literally never ridden a race in their life.
Right.
So it was around there, there was different varieties of people in the class, but it was always a fun class. Like to this day, I still love all the L6 girls who are in that class. So it's a great class.
Well, and it's a learning curve. Everybody's learning, and I don't know about you guys, but even now to this day, if the scoring chute is too tight, I will still fall over in the scoring chute because I can't touch the ground, and it's just what we do. But
I did it at Torn. I literally did it at Torn a few weeks ago. Can't help it.
Me either. All right, so you went from ladies amateur, and were you on the KTM then, or?
I was on the KTM for 2 years in the amateur class, I believe. I think I was in the amateurs 2 years, I think.
Amanda Painter, good to see you. How tall are you? Hey, Kirsten. How tall are you?
I am 5'4.5" on a good day.
Really?
That's
You
it.
look so much taller in person.
Everyone says I look shorter in person, so thank you for that.
Well, but you see, I used to be able to say I was 5'4". Now I have to stand up really straight, dry my hair straight up, and I might be 5'3.5".
Hey, my hair adds like 3 inches.
You got to add it.
That's probably what it is.
That's what it is. It's the hair height. All right. So then you transition from amateur to intermediate.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So what were the nerves like for that first intermediate race? I mean, what were the thoughts? Do you remember?
Yeah. So that first intermediate race, it was the beginning of the season. I had bumped myself, I believe. I had just won the amateur class, so I was feeling pretty good, you know. But I was no, not even. I was feeling, you know, good about last season, and I was feeling good about, you know, building off of that.
Right.
But I was really nervous. You know, Reagan Downing, CK Downing, they're all in my class, you know.
Right.
And so that was really intimidating for me. And that very first race, I remember. I don't remember where it was, but I remember we started the race, and I think there were only 4 of us, and I got 4th. And I was just so nervous the whole time. And then after the race ended, my dad was like, you know, like, you weren't even really going that fast. Like, you didn't seem like you were, like, completely going. And I was like, I don't know. I was just so scared, I guess. And he was like, well, like, try to loosen up, you know, and, like, just, like, have fun with it. You know, just try to ride with them. And then the next few races, it started getting better. And, you know, it was just a progression. So.
Yeah, definitely. The nerves, stepping up in class is there's a huge difference between each level, and there's that learning curve. There's the mindset, you know, how am I going to go about this race now? You know, that kind of thing. So yeah, there's all kinds of things that go through your head. And if you're super competitive, well, then that just adds to everything else that's going on in your head, in your stomach, and everything else.
Yeah, it's funny because growing up we were all real competitive. I mean we all played multiple sports. My brother, he played hockey for a real long amount of time. He played football. My other brother played football. They both played hockey. And everything was a competition. Like literally everything we did was just a competition. And you know, being the only girl and also being the youngest, it really added to that. It really added to that spirit.
I was about to
fuel the fire. So,
but that makes you tougher. That makes you tougher,
you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, yeah. They were, and you know, like they were always super supportive brothers, and you know, so that was great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And,
so, does your dad ride? Does he race?
My dad does. Okay, so he's been racing, but he actually has several shoulder issues. So he's had those for a minute now, and he actually is going to be, you know, getting that looked into more in depth this month, and he's probably going to end up having surgery this month, and that's probably going to, you know, stop the racing for him. But that's been kind of a bummer for me, just because, you know, he's kind of like my partner in crime when it comes to racing.
I got that. I know.
He's kind of the cornerstone for me when it comes to racing. So that's gonna be hard to, you know, not be able to race and ride with him. But
I get that.
It is, you know.
My dad was an enduro rider, so I learned all my technical from him. And then we started racing cross country, and he was still that slow and steady technical enduro rider. And I was like, Daddy, I love you, but you're slow. I got to go ride with faster people. And I could see it on his face. It kind of hurt his feelings. So I was like, love you, Dad, bye. And I ran and, you know, started riding with faster people. But yeah, they're always the cornerstone, man. They're always right there with you. And at least, you know, once he gets done with surgery, maybe he'll still be able to ride a little bit with you and just not race. And he can still go and support you and teach you how to change a spark plug.
Yeah, that probably needs to happen too.
You knew I was going to bring that up. Perfect.
I'm sorry.
y'all, give this woman a thumbs down right now because she don't know how to change a spark plug.
Look. I know how to clean a carburetor, but I don't know how to change a spark plug.
Dude, I just got to give you some grief because you're faster than me. So, all right. So, how did that first intermediate season end up? Where'd you end up overall for that season?
I want to say that I ended up somewhere around third or fourth, I think, in the whole season.
Yeah.
But that next season, I ended up taking a lot of time off. I was, doing stuff with school, and I had actually, at the time, I had just quit basketball, which was, like my thing forever. And that's when I moved to softball. And then from there, I was also running track at the time. We had a lacrosse team. Let's see, what else was I doing? I think I was doing it all, honestly, in high school. I don't know how I did it, but somehow I did. So I took a little bit of time off for that. And it was that third season that I really started to, push and stuff like that. So.
Well, and that's the thing I always tell people is there's always going to be another race. There's always going to be another season. Sometimes you got to take off medically. Sometimes you got to take off. Like a friend of mine, she had a basketball scholarship to Midwestern. So she had to basically quit racing for 4 years, because, hey, basketball was paying for her education. And
definitely.
But, you could always come back to it. And all right, so back to last year, 2019, fighting for the 1ML. When did you realize you had a real good shot at winning this?
I think it was that midpoint in the season, that over that summer break. I came back from that summer break and I realized that I had only lost one race, I think, at that point.
Wow.
So, my dad started telling me, and everybody that we started camping with, everyone started kind of telling me, like, hey, you're kind of in this thing. Like, I don't know if you realize it, but you're kind of up there for it. And at the time, I didn't really think anything of it. I honestly just wanted to get through the season. I just wanted to finish with the intermediate award, and that's all I really wanted.
Right.
And then as it got a lot closer, it got closer and closer, and I, kept winning. And
how was
it
the
really
pressure?
started to kick in. The pressure was, with every race that I won, it felt like normally that'd be a relief to people, but for me, it was just more and more pressure. I was like, okay, got to keep the streak alive, got to keep winning. And at that point, it became more about winning the overall than it did about winning the intermediate title. And eventually my mindset kind of changed for that. And so that really changed probably with 4 or 5 races to go. That's when it really started to kick in. And from there it just kept going. And then I think at some point, I want to say 4 or 3 races from the end, I ended up getting second, and that kind of just deflated me completely because Kirsten she'd only lost 1, and Jessica had only lost 1 at that point. And so I was like, you know what, I'm out of it. Like, I can't really do anything about it. And so honestly, at that point, I was ready to just kind of like throw in the towel for it, just kind of leave it alone, just come out with the intermediate award and be happy. And then some stuff started happening in the other classes, started happening with the other girls, and I realized that I still kind of had a shot for it. And so we went into Rocky Ridge, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what the turnout was going to be. I didn't know any of that kind of stuff. And that was really nerve-wracking going into that race. But
I'll bet it was, because I know that when you're leading a class and you're trying to keep your mindset calm, and then you just have people that keep walking up to you, bringing it up, saying stuff. You're like, thank you, but no, I really don't want to talk about this right now. It's you already have enough pressure, and they have the best of intentions. They friendly.
They really do.
Yeah, and they walk up to you online. Good luck. Yeah, one more race, and you're like, thanks. Just blew my attention here, but so that part's hard. That's
I think, what really caught my attention was one of the guys that we camp with, Jason Foss. I think he might be watching this.
Yeah.
But he really kind of kicked it in for me. Probably 2 races to go. He really kind of threw me into a loop. And I forgot that there actually was the number 1 ML that came with the trophy.
Oh.
At that point, I was just thinking about the trophy,
Right.
And he was like, and he said something along the lines of, "Oh, how's it gonna feel to have that 1 ML on your bike?" And I had to like step back for a moment, and I just freaked out for like probably 10 minutes. Like I just went inside and just freaked out for 10
little bit of
minutes. And then
hyperventilation.
I came back outside, and I was like, okay, whew, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, and you were in good company. Kirsten and Jessica both, man. That was really awesome. And um uh it's really amazing that women have progressed so far. You know, now that because it was a ladies expert, a ladies intermediate, and an over 30 ladies expert that were all vying for this award. And I think, you know, what a great representation of all of us as riders.
Definitely.
And, you know, is
Okay.
is anybody there with you? You're not
Yeah,
alone.
Tyler is literally sitting right here, and he's saying that it's fine. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
He said false alarm. Okay, cool.
Okay, well, hey, just make sure you grab the cat and run. You know. So.
Hey, my cat's not here, sadly. Bad.
So, all right. So, winning 1 ml, and then you have to wait a couple of months before you can run that number.
Right.
And all right. So, tell me about when you got it, when you were on stage. I want to know. You know, how did you feel when you're up there in front of everybody and they hand that to you and you see all the other names that have won that award, you know?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're in the moment and you almost black out, but you gotta like try to remain present for the moment.
Yeah.
And it's so surreal. It's just crazy, you know? And then, you know, Courtney was there and she handed it to me and I was like, this is the craziest thing. Like Courtney, like, why is she handing me this trophy, you know? But, and then, you know, just to see all the people, you know, to know that it was against Jessica and against Kirsten, like that was the, you know, hardest part for me, honestly, just because, you know, those are two really great riders. Like those are two amazing racers. And if there was a way for for all three of us to have won that award, I would have done it in a heartbeat because both of those ladies deserve that award. And Kirsten, like we've talked about it, you know, they both worked their butts off last season, and so I was gonna be happy no matter who came out on top, you know. Yeah. But it was the craziest thing. And then, you know, once I was there in the moment, it was just surreal for sure.
That's awesome. How tired was your face from cheesing and smiling?
Not that tired, you know. You would think it'd be more tired.
Yeah.
No, it was a natural, just, you know, natural happiness that was just apparent. So
yeah, but you know, and that's really cool to really kind of share that moment with them and with Courtney, because Courtney in her own right, you know. And what's scary, I've known Courtney since she was like literally knee high, and I used to ride with Jessica and I used to work with Jessica. And so it's just fun seeing all of this come back around, you know. And,
hey, Lexi.
So, well, and your mom just came on and said it happens in his apartment all the time. No worries. I appreciate that because I really was kind of worried about
I was kind of worried too. So thanks, Mom. Thanks for sharing that information now.
All right. So what bike were you on last season?
252 stroke. I still have it. At some point in the intermediate class, I had a 150. And then I kind of wrung that thing out pretty good. And I ended up having to get a 250 pretty quick. I think I got it probably a year and a half after I had it for about a year and a half, my bad. And then I got the 250. So and then I KTM? The 250. KTM all the way.
Yeah. So that's what you're on this season, right?
Right. 252 stroke. Yeah, and I love it. It's been set up pretty well. You know, my dad, not only is he, you know, my support system, the cornerstone, he's also my mechanic, my driver, you know, all those fun things. And we've both been kind of doing some different things, talking about, you know, suspension, stuff like that. Right now we're really kind of working on the suspension and the rebound because that's been kind of tricky lately. But other than that, it's been pretty nice. So I love it.
I will also say that especially once you move into the experts, once you get to this level and where you are going so fast, turning clickers and adjusting for each track is a must. You can't leave your clickers set for the sand track you just raced on with Torn and then go ride that rough track. Fire. You can't go ride that rough track at Cowbone Creek with the same settings. There's just no way. So
Definitely.
that's,
Yeah,
you
it was
know,
rough.
so it's really important to be aware of what your bike does and how it handles, and in various situations. That's all a part of tuning, as well as knowing how to turn the clickers. And I will admit, I don't know how to turn my suspension clickers. I can't ever remember. I know the words, and that's it. So that's just one thing I haven't learned. I can tear my motor apart in a heartbeat. I don't touch the suspension. Well, I can take the suspension components off my bike. There, that's as close as I get. But
see, I'm not even gonna mess with mine. Luckily, we have a friend who he does all his suspension work, and he graciously said that he would do mine as well. So
that's awesome.
Tyler, someone said the battery is dying on the fire alarm, and that's why it keeps going off. Just acknowledging that.
And it's probably a 9-volt battery, Tyler. Hey, Noah, good to see you, man. So, all right, so we move into the expert class, and you ran ladies expert with Torn last weekend.
I did.
2 weekends ago.
2 weeks, yes.
Yeah, so, and Kirsten ran that race.
She didn't run it. She won it. She just took off.
She flew by me on the last lap, and right there, right when in the woods, the trail split, and the right was rougher and the left was kind of smoother.
Right,
anyway,
yeah.
She flew by me right there.
She took off on the first turn, and I didn't see her the rest of the race. So it is what it is.
What were the nerves like? Because even though this wasn't TCCRA, it was still ladies expert.
That was my first ladies expert race ever. So the nerves for that race were probably worse than they were for the TCCRA race, honestly. There were some people in that class that I've literally grown up watching race. Mm-hmm. Because Ashley Reynolds, she was in that class, and the first Kirsten was in that class, and then Cheyenne Dooley was also there. And we've actually battled each other before a few times at Torn. So these are all people that I know very well and know, a lot about as well. And that's really intimidating, to know these people and to know how fast they are and be like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I in this class? Do I belong in this class? And so that was really hard. Yeah, that was probably my nerves for that race were through the roof for sure.
Did you kind of take a look and what have I got myself into?
Definitely, yeah. I literally turned on the line and was like, well, I guess we're doing it.
Yep. So how did the ride go? I mean, I know you and I have talked, but how long did it take for you to settle in off the start? And did you have any nerve errors or anything like that? Because there's errors. There's errors because something came up on the track that you didn't know it developed, and then there's the brain fart because you're just so locked up and tight. That's what I call a nerve error.
I started the race off literally before the race had technically even started. We were on the starting line, literally about to take off, and I put it in first gear and was like, okay, you know what, I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's go. And they waved the flag and everybody took off, right? I was in neutral. I had misshifted, just neutral. And I just sat there for probably 2 seconds.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, shoot, I need to go. So slammed it into first gear, took off. And, of course, it was all sandy. It was all that sand stuff. So
yeah. And unfortunately, I was 3 or 4 rows behind you. So hey, Cole, nice to see you and everybody else who's joined recently. Yeah, so did you didn't pull a wheelie and look like a goon, did you? When you slammed it into first, because that would have been.
That sand was too deep. That sand off the start was way too deep for anybody to be popping wheelies in. But yeah, I think once the race started, that first little sandy section I was really struggling with that literally all day. So that was really hard for me. And then after that, we kind of got into the motocross section, which kind of made me a little bit more comfortable just because this off season, that's what I really worked in. I worked a lot of motocross, and I think that's really all I did was motocross in the off season.
But that's good.
That kind of made me feel a little bit better, And then from there, I just kind of had to settle myself down and just ride. And I learned a lot in that race. I learned, how to follow people, how to keep, the expert pace, which that's all I really wanted from that race, was to just figure out, what to do and to how to take it into TCRA for this past weekend. So,
yeah, because anytime you move up a level, like I said earlier, there's definitely the learning curve, but especially when you go from intermediate to expert, there's no longer any section on the track where you can take a break. You got to be on it the whole race, clicking it as hard as you can. You can't back off and say, oh, I'm going to catch a breather now, or this. At the expert level, there's no time for that. So
definitely, yeah. And I think Ashley and I, we actually talked after the race happened, and that was the one thing that she said. She said, the jump from intermediate to expert is a lot bigger than it seems, and it's okay. We all did it, and that made me feel a lot better. And then we talked about, keeping the pace and, not laying off. And that was really good advice. Ashley, she was really helpful, and it's good to be able to, just talk to somebody,
yeah,
been through it all. And that's really helpful. And I mean, Kirsten, she's been awesome through this whole thing. I've been helping her. I mean, asking her all these questions about it. So she's been great through it as well. So.
Well, and really, there's no stupid question unless you just don't ask it. And that's one of the things that the girls who ride and Dirtastic and there's so many other just on Instagram, groups on Instagram that are trying to foster positive community, especially for women, but for anybody to feel comfortable to ask the question. I tell people all the time, I'll ride with you anytime. I'd be happy to ride with you. Pay it forward, pay it back, however you want to say it.
Yeah,
but it's the only way you can make the transition is, well, not the only way. One of the ways to help is you got to have people you can talk to who literally have been through it and know exactly what you're talking about.
Definitely, yeah. And I think, like I said, Kirsten has been really helpful with that. And then also, it's nice because now that I'm at this level, I feel like I'm finally at a point where I can kind of start giving back as well. And so I've been definitely trying to do that as well. I've been helping out Riley Hornack a lot, which has been really good. That's been really fun. And it's just nice to be able to see the circle and just kind of keep it going. So
true, very true. So let's talk about Sunday. I'm not going to reveal any spoilers. We'll go piece by piece. How was the start? Were you actually in first?
I was. I did.
Right.
Well, I shifted up into second.
Did you?
To start the race, just because I thought it might be a little better because of all that hay that was kind of at the start. There was a bunch of hay and stuff, and that was kind of hard to grip in. So I for some reason thought second would be a good idea. Second wasn't a good idea. Kind of bogged at the start, and then I also had a really bad start in the actual angles and everything. I was completely on the inside, and everybody else was outside, and it was the most outside I was gonna get. So I kind of just took it, and that was not the best because it was kind of like a nice little left sweep turn, and there was a barrel right in front of me, so I had to kind of make that turn and not get cut off. Got cut off.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So
well,
after that, it was just a matter of not slipping, and there was also a tree that I didn't run into this tree. I honestly don't know, because it was right there, and I slammed on my front brake, and my back brake slid completely over to the right, and was in last coming off the start. So that was not the best start of my life.
You just like to make a challenge. That's all.
Definitely, yeah.
Nowhere but up. Well, that's one thing. I will also admit about as when you start racing with the experts, where you start changes, because you can get away with a whole lot more at the intermediate amateur level, whereas at the expert level, you can't. And
there is no room for mistakes, for sure.
No.
There's no room for bad gate picks. There's no room for any of that kind of stuff.
Right.
And that was my fault for not getting down there earlier enough. But something to learn.
Yeah. So, this is the transition season for you. So
definitely.
The big thing is obviously finish all the races, and then start finding your bunny rabbits. Who can you chase and catch and, help pull you along and that kind of stuff. So,
Right, yeah. And I think even with the first race, I kind of started to pick up on, what I could do in the class,
yeah.
who I could race with, who I could not race with, Courtney. And then, small stuff, like what I could tweak on my own,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's been really helpful. But I mean, after that start, I just kind of settled in. It was crazy. That first mile for me was ridiculous because I was like, I sat there and I was like, am I really doing this? Like, am I really racing with these people right now? And so I honestly I couldn't tell you what happened for the first mile. Like, I don't know how I did it, but I was like gone. Like, I don't know where my mind was. I was just like not there, but somehow I did it. And then, we came up to that, I don't know how many of y'all have been to Cowbone Creek, but we came up to that blue line, pink line, where you hit that wall, and then the pink line, and one girl went to the pink line, and then another girl went to the blue line, and I went right behind her, and I thought, I was like, okay, experts, they're gonna clear this, no problem. Of course, she did not, so I had to sit there and wait, and that kind of put me a little bit behind already, and then after that, I had to, just play catch up. And I did. I ended up passing that girl, and then probably 3 miles in, there's another little peel off, and one way you hit that little creek kind of thing, and you kind of pop out of it.
Or you
Another
went straight?
You go down straight, and then you kind of hit like a right, like a left, kind of curves into a right kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then you both kind of merge back into this massive mud hole. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but yeah, so right there, that didn't work that well for me. I came up to the girl who was also in my class. She kind of had gotten stuck in that little rut right there. Her tire was spinning. So I tried to take an alternate line. That didn't work. And I ended up upside down in that creek.
That's how you ended up upside down. Okay.
Yeah,
Hang on.
But I gotta give a big shout out to Emma Bowling, because if it wasn't for her, I would not have finished that race. I mean, after I got the bike upside down in that creek, nobody was there. I mean, literally, it was just us for a good minute. So, and then the ladies, intermediates, and the minis experts, they started coming through, and everybody just passed me and was just spraying me with mud, and I was like, well, this is not fun. And so I literally was just kind of sitting there, and I was like, I can't get my bike out of here. My boots were literally stuck in the ground, I could not move my feet at all.
Sink mud.
So, yeah. So I was just sitting there, and I was like, well, first race, I guess I'm not gonna finish it. And I was really bummed. I was just not great in that moment. And then Emma kind of sees me, I guess, as she's passing by, and she kind of yells something, and I couldn't hear what she yelled. And I was like, oh, okay, keep going or whatever. And she comes back. She parks her bike, takes her helmet off, comes back, and she was like, hey, we're gonna get this out. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, we're gonna get this out. And I was like, what? Why? What are you doing? And she's like, well, I mean, you would stop for me, so why would I not stop for you?
Right.
And, that just
That's what we do.
That changed the whole race for me. And we got the bike out somehow, and we were able to turn it around, and I literally just straight up turned around and went to the other alternate. And then, Emma was in third place at that point in her class.
Wow. Shout out to Emma.
She stopped. She stopped and helped me out. And then the rest of the race, we kind of rode together for a minute. And then we were talking earlier today, and she said she hit a tree. And so we weren't able to, ride the rest of the race together. But, if it wasn't for her, I would have DNF'd that race. And there was no way I would have even come close to any way, I didn't even think I was going to get anything. I thought I was going to get last for sure. And I was able to, come back and not get last.
There you go.
That felt good.
Yeah.
And, so shout out to Emma. I don't think she knows this yet, but I actually have a goggle sponsor, Bray MFG. They are great people. I love all of them over there. But I was telling them about, what Emma did. I was talking to them earlier today, and I was like, hey, is there any way that we can, like, you know, help her out, or like just send her a pair of goggles or anything? And they're like, you know what, like, we're gonna do her one better, and like we're gonna, you know, offer her a sponsorship, and we're gonna get in touch with her about that.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know if she knows that yet, but Emma, that's
she does
happening.
now.
They'll be getting in touch with you. Yeah, so I think I just wanted to, you know, somehow give back to her, because I've been racing for probably, let's see, 6 years now, and there's not been a moment that like touched me more than like this weekend. That was absolutely just like a life-changing moment for me, because I mean, you know, that's what we do it for. That's what this is all for. So
well, and you know, dirt bikers, we're such a small microcosm of all the motorized sports, right? But then when you turn it into women on dirt bikes, talk about even smaller. And, you know, just helping each other out, being supportive. And yeah, I'll ride with my competition, and I will point things out. But when we hit the line, it's all about racing. But in between, you know, we got to take care of each other. I think that's just awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, look, she just said, "Oh, you're so sweet." So
great, Emma. Thank you.
I just want to point out for people who might not be aware of this, TCCRA does something similar to skiing, snow skiing. You have blue lines are the really hard, faster expert lines. And then the pink line it's the normal, it can be the alternate, but everybody else can go. It's a risk reward thing. If you take that blue line and you get through it cleanly, you have just cut off seconds. Many seconds, sometimes 20 or 30.
It saves a lot of time.
Yes.
It can save a race. It can save a race for sure.
Yes, it can. So
it can also end a race, but.
Well, yeah, which you learn, you know, and when I was fighting for my first place ever, I followed somebody into a rut in the mud. She fell over. I had to wait for her to get up out the mud. So she yelled, "Hold on," when she rode by. That's what she did. So, I mean, you know, you learn things. So after that race, I was yelling at myself for races. Follow, follow, follow. Don't follow, don't follow. So when the trail splits, if they took my line, I'm taking another one just because. So, I mean, there's so much, gosh, there's so much you already learned in your first expert race. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, but, you know, I'm pumped for the next one. I think everything that I learned, I'm ready to just take it all into the next one and just see what happens. You know, I'm actually really excited. I think this one was, you know, a matter of getting all the nerves out. But now that I've done all that, I'm really excited to see what happens in this next one.
Yeah. Well, now you know kind of what to expect off the start, what it's going to feel like, and what you have to do. But now you've got that first one out of the way, bobbles, upside downs, all that. It's going to happen. Just because you're an expert doesn't mean you're still not going to end up upside down on occasion. But, yeah, you know, take it all and learn from it and, you know, keep pushing forward. So if you want to, you don't have to share. What are your goals, overall goals, and then maybe some specific goals for this season?
Yeah.
What do you want out of it?
Yeah. Tyler, did you just join?
Yep.
Hi, Tyler.
He's literally sitting 5 feet away, so.
That's okay.
No, but let's see. Goals for this season. This is a big learning season for me. It's just a matter of, you know, figuring out what it is like in the expert class.
Yep.
So my goals are honestly just to learn to ride, you know, learn how to follow those fast riders, learn how to just get faster. Also, I'm really working on outside training, you know, off the bike training. That's going to be a big factor for me. I already, you know, I did a lot of stuff in high school, and that kind of was my training, you know. And now that I'm in college, it's been difficult finding, you know, different things. I did crew for a season. I did that for Oklahoma State, and then last semester I did rock climbing, and so
awesome.
I think now it's just a matter of me taking, you know, all the things that I've done and turning them into like a good, you know, outside workout regimen. And that's going to be really important for me this year. Just, you know, just to be able to keep up with the pace and everything, that's going to be a big factor. So the goals for that is probably just get faster, get stronger, more consistent. You know, specific goals, let's see. I don't know if I have any specific goals yet, honestly, and that's probably a bad thing to say.
No, because you're still getting your feet wet and still figuring out you know, what you're doing fairly well, but what you need to work on. So that's nothing. You have plenty of time to get those goals in place.
Right, right. Yeah, I knew I wanted to come into the season with some kind of, you know, some kind of attitude about it, and it was all just going to be a learning season for me, and I knew that from the start.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just crazy to be racing with people who you just grew up like watching race and being like, wow, like they're so fast, like, and that is the craziest thing, and that's been odd, but I like it honestly. It's cool to be like, you know, be up there with those people and know that maybe not deserve it, but you know, you worked there, like you worked hard to get there, and that's been really fun.
You deserve it if you earn it, and you earned it. I mean, you know, you've ridden the races, you've put in your time and whatnot, but it's not like anybody's handing you anything. Because just because we're girls doesn't mean we're going to go, oh, you're my BFF, you can win. We don't. We don't play that.
It's not like that.
You know? Not at all. So I've been here for almost 50 minutes now.
Is it?
Yeah. Do you have any advice, anything you want to share with anybody? It can be dirt bike related, it can be life related, it's whatever. You know, because I see Chubb's Towing has said hello. Do you know Chubb's Towing?
That is my dad's company. They are also my biggest sponsor. So
there you go.
Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to Chubb's Towing.
Probably my dad. Hey, Dad.
But yeah, advice of any kind, any thoughts, whatever. Just let it fly.
Yeah. Let's see. First off, support system. That's a big deal. Have a good support system. It doesn't have to be family. Race family counts too. Yes. That's a big thing. Another piece of advice I would have, you know, racing is important, but, you know, make sure that you take care of everything else outside of racing. Make sure you know, have a balanced life. It doesn't need to just be racing. Yeah. If you're still like in school, do something other than race. You know, like play a sport, like join a club, do something, because you racing is there for now, but it may not always be there. So you need to have something to fall back on. That's really important to me. I mean, even for me right now, I mean, I'm still trying to get my degree. I'm still like, this isn't my career. This is in no way a career for me. This is just, you know, something that I love to do.
Right.
Let's see. What other advice would I have?
How about
find lady riders. If you're a girl, find some girls who you know you want to ride with. I'm always down. If y'all can't find me, just like text me or something. I'm always around.
Message on Instagram, y'all. That's the easiest way. Message.
Yeah,
well, it's not the easiest, but I mean, hey, we all have our phones with us. It works. That's how you and I are talking.
Yeah, definitely.
I would like to just kind of piggyback on this. A lot of people, especially if they're newer riders, they're scared to come talk to us. They're scared to say hi, much less will you ride with me.
Guys, do not be scared of me. Oh my gosh. Everyone says that. Everyone's like, Reagan, like, I thought you were the most intimidating person. Like, you'd be on the starting line and you'd look so focused. And I'm like, I was probably sitting there talking, like, thinking about how I don't want to, like, die right now. Like, you can come talk to me at any point. Like, come say, I literally love when people say hi to me. Like, I love it. So y'all can come say hi. Y'all can do whatever. Like, just, you know, get out there. Get your name out there. Just find people who are supportive. Find people who will, you know, be there for you. And that's the most important thing. And just find people that you can connect with.
Yeah.
That's all. And that's all you need.
It doesn't, you know, you won't ever know until you ask. And y'all, Instagram, this is my Jackalope Racing, but I also have my personal Instagram. I've had some people that message me through Facebook asking me stuff about riding. Y'all, we're all, please, we, you know, like we were saying earlier, we just want to pay it forward, pay it backwards, sideways, whichever way it's going to go. But yeah, we're here together. So
definitely.
But all right, so you're back on the track in 2 weeks?
2 weeks, but this weekend I am actually hosting like a little training session for some girls who are newer riders.
Nice.
So I'll be out there at Time to Ride this weekend, Sunday. So depending on if I can get some other people out there with me to help me out, still taking people, still trying to get more girls out there. So if
You need
anybody
some
wants to
help?
come,
Did
I
you
might.
say you need some help?
I might need some help. So far there's like 6 girls. So we'll see. We'll see how many people join. We'll see how many people like want to go. And yeah,
So-
but I might need some help.
Well, what if I just accidentally showed up anyway?
If you just accidentally showed up anyway, I mean, like, you could definitely help me out.
Maybe take some video.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna to like talk about this later.
We will. All right, Reagan, this was awesome. Thank you so much. You know, it's going to be a great season, but we need to ride together. We definitely need to catch some
Yeah,
live.
definitely.
But
and
no,
you know, like, for everybody out there, like, if y'all don't know like the story about the LJ's mom and everything, y'all should ask her about that. And the 1ML, to me, that was something. She's never gonna tell you this, but we were there at that last Rocky Ridge race, and she came up to me and, you know, she talked to me about it, and she was like, you know, this award was for my mom, so, you know, just, you know, ride your race. And for me, that was a big deal. And you know, like we were talking about earlier, there were people there who, you know, were coming up to me and telling me good luck, but that one definitely stuck with me. And at that point, it didn't matter to me who won that race. But yeah, y'all should definitely go check that story out, because that's a very important thing to go see. So I highly encourage y'all to go look. And I mean, LJ, she's an amazing lady, so y'all should definitely like hit her up if y'all need anything, if y'all want anything, if y'all have any questions. This is the girl to ask for sure.
We're all in this together, right? Reagan,
So.
thank you very much. For everybody, before you sign off, this will get posted on my YouTube channel. The link is in my bio. I won't have my DSL back until sometime tomorrow, hopefully by 6 p.m. But then I'll post on Jackalope and say, hey, it's now up on YouTube. So if you missed part of it, want to watch it again, look at Reagan's beautiful smile and hear her inspiring words, it'll be up for you guys to watch. Thank y'all so very much for tuning in with us tonight. And remember, any day we get to ride is a good day. So let's live to ride another day, y'all.
True.
Good night, everybody. Thanks, Reagan.
Of course. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.